It appears I'm live. It appears I'm live. As you can see, I am late as hell. My bad, man. I'm still trying to figure this whole thing out with this live and setting up the all sorts of things. I ain't about to bore y'all with that. I'm just gonna talk to myself for a little bit, see if anybody drops in. You gotta excuse me a minute. I'm gonna simultaneously send some updated links out. I sent everybody a wrong link. Couldn't figure out how to open up that one. So excuse me for a minute. We just going to chill out here. Might see if I can edit this part out later. See if anybody pops in. I reached out everywhere, everywhere, with the wrong link. So everybody's like just waiting at that one, like, this dude is late. Typically, that is not me. Anybody that knows me know I am a early, I insist on being early person, really. I had a topic I wanted to talk about tonight, even though no one is in the chat. Maybe I don't know, bring this up again at a later date, or, if you're tuning in at a later time, feel free to comment below. I do read the comments. So yeah, I have a question. Hold on, I'm like distracted. Let me try to send this link out to everybody. I wanted to talk about, say, your dream figure, right? If you had a dream figure and it was done perfectly as well as you wanted it to move, came with what you wanted it to come with, quality control was on point, all that. How much are you willing to pay for that dream figure? All right, give everybody a second. Everybody a second. There is 0 people in the chat, but it is all good. I kind of figured I gotta create a whole little separate brand as far as my live, but the reason I'm trying to do this stuff is to build a community. I want to interact with more like-minded collectors. I'm sure anybody who wants this figure has already got his hands on it, or hers. This is the newest one from Romanki. I wanted to do a review on it, but honestly, I was a little nervous. Like after the first Romanki figure video I did, it was, what was her name? The female body. I did that one and I got flagged for that, so that video doesn't have as many viewers, unfortunately. And I thought it was a pretty cool video. I try to put a link for that in the description below. Description low. What was that? In the description below. Oh yeah, and disclaimer, I am super tired. I honestly wasn't sure I was really going to go on live, but I am anxious to open this figure. And I said, if I don't do this live tonight, then I'm not going to do it. And then I'm going to miss another live. And I'm trying to build that consistency. So I'm just going to wait a little bit and see if I can reach out to these folks again. I want to say eventually, I want to, like, I've got big dreams for this whole going live thing. Like, I want a whole, like, pretty much network. And I'm not going to share my ideas out here just yet, but I don't know if I've seen anyone do it like I'm thinking I want to do it. I just got to get more tech savvy and invest more money into my craft. But yeah, I'm trying to do a lot really with this whole thing. I've got ideas to come up with a toy line and just all sorts of things, comics if I can get those. But realistically, I know I'm like light years away, so but I still want to leave my mark on the world. That's another question. Have you left your marker? Your marker. Yo, did you leave your marker? Yeah, I left it on the table, man. Stop using my shit. Have you left your mark on the world? I know a lot of us want to live forever. So I was just thinking, have you left your mark on the world, something that you wanted to do? Are you working on it? Are you close? Have you given up and settled for something else you didn't know you'd enjoy almost as much? What was it? What is it you would like to do? Hope the audio isn't coming in too low. I've got it on my laptop here is really low because I wasn't sure how it was going to sound. And I've also got my phone tuned in to my channel. So I'm hoping there's no echo. I have no idea what this sounds like right now. So just going to chill out for a little bit. See if anybody else jumps into the chat. I know that Unparalleled is on right now. Shout outs to Wade. He's on right now, and I know I'm never going to be able to compete with his. And I wasn't really trying to, honestly. I didn't really expect a lot of people to show up in here. So if you come back and check it out later, that's good enough for me too. Please drop a like for that algorithm. I will start in a second. I'm trying to reach out to a couple more people. See, I wanted to have a engaging moment talking about this stuff, but I guess I'll just answer for me. And I don't know, maybe I'll bring this back up at a later time. My dream figure that can pose exactly how I want it to pose, comes with exactly what I want it to come with. How much am I willing to pay for it? And of course, the quality control was pretty much flawless. No issues with that. How much am I willing to pay for it? And I've actually had to sit down for a minute and kind of just think about it. Like, I don't know, like when you start to like self-reflect on the bigger pictures, like you sending the wrong message to these guys that are, creating this stuff. And like at one point you got to say, yo, that's too much, man. I can't do it. Like, what is that point? And honestly, I don't really have I think I'm actually just going to talk as I get started because I'm anxious to open this and I'm anxious to get in bed. I am super tired. I worked a lot of hours this week because I'm a man. But yeah, I don't have a favorite figure. I don't think honestly I have a favorite anything. I don't think I invest too much into it, except for maybe the turtles. Like the turtles, I can definitively say, okay, Michelangelo's my favorite. I don't know, that's simple enough. But as far as anything else, like there is nothing that I can think of really. But some things that I would love to see created, like at the top of my list. Just gonna go ahead. I hope you know what? I'm gonna take this off camera because this box is right beside the microphone. Give me 1 second. Let's do the audio, please. Yeah, I'm anxious to crack it open, so I'm just gonna take a look at it. So this came from 5K Toys. This is the Snail Shell Aileen loungewear version. Nice pretty pink box. Reminds me of kind of like Sailor Moon or like one of those statues. I think I would say figures that I am super anxious to get would be, as you know, if you've been watching my channel, Street Fighter. Like that's the stuff that I'm most excited about. Most things Capcom, Darkstalkers. I really would like some Darkstalkers stuff. Almost as I would like, yeah, probably as much as I would like some Street Fighter Alpha figures. So, and I'm hoping I get to experience that before, I meet the big man upstairs. But yeah, some figures that, oh, excuse me, I'm gonna lean off camera for a little second. So when you open the box, cool, that stands up, I like that. As you can see, she does come with a couple different items. I like the presentation. She also comes with this card with some warranty information on the back. So that's cool, fine and dandy. And she also comes with instructions, which I don't see a lot of companies doing these days. Now, if there's anything to assemble and do some crazy stuff with, I'm probably not going to do that in this video. Honestly, I just wanted to drop something real quick because it's been a minute since I actually put out a video. I was Australian or something just now. Put out of no, that's not Australian. What is that? Give me 1 second while I remove the plastic off camera. I know that's going to be pretty loud. I'm going to try not to make a mess and have everything splash on the floor. But yeah, if I was to keep it simple, I would say I really want a Rose from Street Fighter Alpha. I really want a Rose. I mean, I would take her in soft goods if it was tailored really, really well. But, naturally, I'm really worried about her being in some plastic because what if she can't move really well? And I don't necessarily need her to do the splits, but next to the splits, honestly, would be nice. I don't really want that plastic to interfere with that. So I would say Rose, Ibuki from Street Fighter 3. Who else? Karen or Kyren, Sakura's rival. I really want one of those figures. All right, so first impressions on the Aileen is her shirt is really big and it's not very form fitting. I get that it's supposed to be a big shirt, but sheesh, I'm not really pleased with how this came out. Like, uh, I don't know, those promotional pictures looked a little bit better. It says Agent Rabbit. I do like the print for that. Nice and clean. And I like the highlights too for her hair. Nice little purple eyes. That looks kind of cool. Got a little blush on the nose. Yeah, I like the way her face looks. She looks all right. Got some more highlights in the back of the hair. I like that you get a little bit of softness. Unfortunately, you're not going to get any in the back. So, as you know, that's going to be an issue. And she doesn't have a joint at the neck. So, I'll just run through her articulation real quick. The hair can be a hindrance when you're moving her using that attitude. Like, I'm having a little bit of trouble over here. Looks like I might have clamped on something. Yeah, so it's a little trickier actually on this side right here, trying to get some good attitude, but it works like a charm over here. So I don't know. That's odd. But yeah, that is hard plastic in the back, so that kind of sucks. Snail Show is actually working on some new bodies too. I've seen them. I can't remember where I've seen them at. Wonderfest, I think. And it looks like they're stepping up their articulation, honestly. And that's what I kind of wanted from Snail Show in the beginning. Like when I did that first review, I think it was the first figure I got, which was the Sandhouse sisters. And I'll try to remember to put a link for that in the description below. But those figures look nice, had some great accessories, but I really wish they would have had a little bit more range. And as you can see, it's a little bit more of the same with this figure. Got a little bit of plastic on this area right here. Her knees, this knee is just a little more loose. It could be a little bit tighter. And this one is a little bit tighter, so that's cool. Yeah, I don't know. Well, if you are curious, real quick, hopefully I am not getting demonetized by showing absolutely nothing. She got some plastic up here too. And it appears that she only has one joint. And the new Snail Shell figures that I've seen solicited, well, just pictures of it. They've got a torso joint. I do like how much, like, there is some airbrushing, it looks like, on her torso. Nice sculpted abdomen. That's kind of cool. I do like that. You know, the figure appears that she was obviously made to, you know, take a little bit of clothes off. So they've got a lot of plastic on it. Unfortunately, her articulation is not that good. She does have double joints, so I do appreciate that. She does have a bicep swivel. That's always nice. Her shoulders have a good amount of tension to it, so I appreciate that. And you can't really get her hands too close together. You probably got to use that bicep swivel. So yeah, that is that. And she can't really look down that much. So it's okay, but yeah, I would have preferred if she could look down a little bit further. She looks up slightly, you know, more than I expected, but not enough, obviously. Of course, you do got a side to side motion. Matter of fact, let me remove all of this. How easy is it to take off her head? Okay. Huh. This is interesting. So there's no ball going into the actual neck socket. Sorry, the quality kind of sucks on this giant. But you do got a hinge, and then there is a ball on top. So let's just remove this outfit real quick. I'm still in the process of actually trying to see if I can reach out to people. I just didn't want this video to drag on forever. So let's just take a minute to admire her body parts. Hey, it looks like, I don't know, can these underwear come off? Or are they painted on? Please excuse the lights. As I mentioned, I haven't even been looking at the screen, honestly. I just said, let me just go for it and just keep going until I'm finished. So yeah, it's not a floating piece for her underwear. It appears to be sculpted on. So you can see a little bit of that paint kind of running through. Looks like the underwear could have used another coat. But, I mean, it's pretty clean for the most part, though. So I do appreciate that. And you still have some plastic in there. All right, so let me put her... I'm probably going to have to get on Army and just see if I can get something else that... Okay, so it appears the pig is in the back. You want to be really careful with this. Honestly, this is how I broke that Revoltech Catwoman. Like, how do they really expect you to... It's almost like you just got to take off her hair. You got to get messy. But yeah, those are the figures that I would really, really want. And you know what? I really would like a Hokuto too from Street Fighter EX. Flex Alpha. Sorry, give me a second. This giant is in there. So yeah, you probably got to do all of that just to try not to break that peg right there. So that is a little unfortunate. You can get a swivel at that peg, but it is not a ball. So be mindful about that. But say like, I don't know, Rose, and she had a wired scarf. I don't know, maybe 2 joints. You could put a joint, a separation right at just under her boobs. you know, and she had, let's see, I mean, she could have some soft goods, but I don't know, maybe that plastic might be a better ultimate look, you know, more versatile in your displays and stuff. So for now, we would go with some really soft plastic. And she had an awesome ab crunch. Her hair didn't hinder articulation. Damn, damn. Or like a Boogie from Street Fighter Alpha 3. Or like the characters I would really want to get from Darkstalkers. Like that's a close second, really. I think what I'm most anxious to get from Darkstalkers, my arm is kind of feeling strained a little bit. Yeah, it's probably best to put this shirt right back on with the head off. But I mean, she's okay. I wasn't expecting. God, come on, get that big head, Buddha. Am I going to be able to do this with the? Yeah. So Felicia, I would say, is probably my most desired figure from Darkstalkers, and second would probably be like Senko. I would love to do an Asenko. I am dragging this shirt on. You know what, man? We are going to forget about this shirt because I am tired and I want to go through the rest of these accessories. I wasn't really expecting much to come from tonight. I just wanted to put something in the books. You know, get on, try to get more comfortable going live. You know, see if anybody's on I can interact with. You know, let's start a dialogue. Check out the rest of her clothes. I did want to put her in a little pose before I get out of here. I know I feel kind of dirty just keeping her without her t-shirt on. Like I don't know. But yeah, so as far as her ab crunch though, dang. Yeah, so that kind of sucks. She does have a good, decent side to side, so I appreciate that. I think it's odd that they put so much detail under the outfit, but they don't put all of the detail under the outfit. It's like, did you? I don't know. It's almost like they don't actually want people to appreciate the figure without the clothes on. And of course, I wouldn't really put it on my shelf like that. But I'm saying if you wanted to do something, and I am glad that she does have pretty good range at those ankles. Of course, there is no toe hinge. And I'm actually going to put her outfit back on and go through the rest of her accessories before I get up out of here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to do this off camera. So if Rose came in 112, which is my preferred scale, how much would I pay for a Rose? Uh, if I guess it would be two different numbers. For one, like, what if I knew like the quality was guaranteed? Um, you know, of course that's unrealistic, but quality was guaranteed, and the joints were of good quality. Like the figure would last for a very long time. You don't have to worry about it getting loose and all this and that or degrading anything like that. How much would I pay for her? You know, and then how much is at the point of just kind of being ridiculous and you gotta morally you feel like you gotta just kind of make a statement by not buying it. I think, I mean, and I say this now, but I think, oh, there it goes. So, yeah, luckily this part right here does have a tray You have some bunny ears. It looks like it might be on a magnet too. And I'm still trying to put her shirt on. It's like as big as this joint is, she should be able to just drop right into it. But yeah, man, I planned on honestly swapping out her outfit anyway. I think the reason I bought her, because I mean, I don't really buy a whole bunch of figures that have white on because, you know, then you got to go and get gloves. You always got to make sure your hands are clean. And even when your hands are clean, you still leave some residue, you know. So I don't know. I try to stay away from white outfits, but when I do buy them, I try to replace the clothes. Uh, Gosh, I'm going to have to pull her head off again. I'll be getting out of here in a second. Guess I don't really need to go in and start exchanging or interchanging rather all of her hands and stuff. I think I'm gonna just have some private time with her and decide if I really wait, that didn't come out right. I think I just want to decide, you know, off camera where I get to relax and fool around with her. How much I actually even like the figure. You know, I'm not gonna say she. Only thing that's worse than what I was expecting, because I mean I expected this figure to kind of be mediocre in terms of like the articulation and stuff. And like I mentioned before, I can't wait until that new line that Snail Shell is doing. It looks like they're focusing on some blank bodies, putting more articulation into their figures. I am stoked for that. I'm anxious to see what they do with that and how far they will go. Just want to put her in a quick little pose and take a look at the rest of her accessories before I get out of here. And I brought out a little treat of sorts. Not really, but I wanted to see her on a mattress. I've had this mattress sitting in my supply closet, and I don't really get to bring it out. So I figure this is a good time to bring something like this out. Looking all dusty and stuff. Hair everywhere. Looks like my cats have been in my spot. Yeah, I think ultimately knowing that it's the best and quality is solid, and to the point where I'm like, okay, no, this is crazy. I think I would probably spend maybe 200. I think 200 is my breaking point. And I think that kind of goes for all of the any figures that I'm like super anxious to get, except for maybe Senko. Honestly, I think if someone made Senko right, she's so complex that you know you're gonna expect her to really, you know, come with the price, come with that high price tag. And honestly, if she came out like exactly what I would want her to come out with, like she would probably be worth every penny. You know, I don't know. I might bust out a four Honda for a sneak single, 400, especially if I can make payments on it. You know, that is the thing too, like the payments. I don't want people to answer it based on if you make payments, because I mean that's a pretty good incentive. I mean, just coughing it all up at once. You know, immediate craziness. I think, yeah, a really good Senko with a ton of weapons. Maybe you could bend her arms. They come with swappable pieces, so you can put her regular arms on. Okay, so one of my earpods just died, so I'm probably going to end this stream pretty soon, like right now. And I'll just real quick take a look at some of her hands and stuff. I'm gonna try not to So this piece right here appears to be, it's got a little keyed part on it. Looks like that's for her eyes, which is cool. And then you have some stand pieces right there, nice little stand. And you have something at the bottom, appears to be extra wrist pegs. Appreciate that. I'm gonna put her bunny ears on real quick. And maybe I should put a bra on too, but then I gotta take off the clothes again. That was such a, is there? It looks like there's a magnet in there. Sheesh, I gotta see if I can edit this part out. It's a real pain in the neck trying to remove that hair piece. And I don't know, is this, does it? I don't know, I'm probably having a slow moment right here. It almost looks like you put it in between. Okay, all right, so there's the catch. Now it's catching. And now we gotta put her head back on. Come on, come on. Yeah, so I'd probably drop four for a really good Hisenko. I think these are on backwards. But like, I don't know. Like Rose, maybe two tops, man. It's like at one point you gotta say, somebody, if they know this figure is like really sought after, somebody is bound to like bootleg the joint. And I don't even want to be the guy to talk like that, but sometimes you're just like, man, I hope somebody make a bootleg of that figure. They want a lot. Yeah, she looks pretty cute with the bunny ears on. Definitely a nice looking figure. Nice facial expression. Decent little detail. Her legs could go, I see they start to curve up a lot. So yeah, she definitely is going to have that crazy articulation, but I think it's all right. Got a decent tension at the thighs. It's got a double joint, a nice double joint, so I do appreciate that. You can get her ankles going down a really good amount. Going up, of course, you have a swivel. And you know what? One of these days, I'm going to do a live just kind of talking about the ankle swivel versus not having an ankle swivel. I want to have a debate, but I need enough people to join me for it and make your arguments. So we're going to check out the hands real quick and then the faces. And then I'm going to show her up against just a couple figures because I am, as I mentioned, tired. She does have her pointing fingers. It looks like some type of gripping fingers. Does she have something to grip? Are you supposed to use this piece to, I don't know, kind of plain, I guess. Two sets actually look similar. These hands right here looks a little more open, while these ones are a little more grip fashion. And then the last ones are, if she's holding a bat, her fingers are very much so. Her fingers are parted quite a bit. Very much so. Like I'm an aristocrat. Very much so. So her broccoli looks pretty nice. Soft little plastic right there. My bad. I probably had this out of camera. I wish this thing would focus. I got a long way to go to have the type of live and the type of content that I really, really want to have. Maybe start doing like toy news. But yeah, she's got some decent detail with her bra. I rather like this quite a lot. Little scope work, nice little flex to it. See, that's cool. And then face sculpt. As you can see, you can move her eyes around. I always appreciate that. And then let's see if I can pop her face out just to show you guys real quick what that looks like. Little plastic on the floor. Yeah, it looks like a kind of like a guilty type of face. Come on, let's get focus, focus, focus. Please don't do me like this today. Yeah, but I didn't think I was gonna do a whole review on it. I've considered it, but I find that the figures I am really, really into always do the most. And though I try to imitate the formula of other videos, like I don't know, it's just such an odd thing, you know. But yeah, she looks like she's kind of embarrassed, a little shy, bashful. Probably got caught with the. I'm not even gonna say it. I don't even know how YouTube gonna feel about it. And it looks like she also has some toes that popped out of the bag. Get that up close. I can't see any nails on them. Not a whole bunch of detail, but you can see some sculpt work on the bottom of the feet. So that's pretty cool. I wasn't really going to switch out her feet, but let's see if I can do that right quick without knocking anything over. Okay. All right, so I got that out nice and easy. And then we're going to just try. So I was going to do a head swap, but because her pick actually goes pointed at the back of the head, I would have to spend a little bit more time trying to find a figure that has that same setup. I know a lot of fig ones do. I probably should have grabbed one of those. All right, there we go. So I got the foot in. I think it looks okay. You know, it does what it's supposed to do. This shirt is very annoying. You know, I'm a little, I don't know, a little frustrated that the quality is such, it looks thin. I don't know, it's like damn near a napkin or something. But yeah, and then it's not fitted. You know, like it could be tighter around the collar, but like a little more frumpy around the waist. You know, the look I think they were going for wasn't quite pulled off. I will say though, they did a pretty good job on the bum. That looks weird when you look at it like that, but then you can kind of twist it back in there. So yeah, they actually did a really nice job on the bum. Snail shell can make bums. Yeah, so all in all, I think she is decent. This magnet piece for her hair does not hold as well as you would think. If you drop it, that piece will indeed go flying away. As far as when our next go live, honestly, I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to make it a thing to where any figures that I'm not gonna or don't feel as excited to do a review on, maybe try to do it in a live. And you know, her shoulder just popped out on camera. But yeah, if you guys end up checking this out later on, we can still have a discussion in the chat. I would like to know, what is your dream figure? What is your dream figure? And what do you think your limit is if you. I just dropped something and I don't know what it is. All right, I'm starting to slip up and drop things. So I'm going to get out of here real quick. I just wanted to put her in a little pose. I might have to swap her feet back out. Just a quick couple size comparisons, honestly, and then I'm going to get in the bed and maybe watch I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna watch tonight. I might watch me a horror movie. I like to watch anime before I go to bed. Like on work nights when I have work the next day, I like to watch something that don't really got nothing to do with anything. I don't watch a lot of love animes, especially if I'm about to go to bed. Mostly it'd just be like action stuff. Not so much comedy unless it's mixed. or a horror movie. I don't like watching horror movies before I go to bed if I have to work the next day because I usually want to finish the movie. But like if you're watching a series or something, yeah, just put on some nice little anime. Can I just get her to balance so I can get out of here? It's getting hot in this garage. Yeah, but even if you drop by the video and just drop a like for the algorithm, I don't expect a whole bunch of likes to come from lives. Unfortunately, I try to like anybody's video that I stumble onto, especially if I see that they might have put some effort into it and their engagement is low. I try to make sure I always do that. But especially the lives because I don't know, people never really like the lives. Okay, so yeah, she's a little tricky to get to stand. I don't I don't know if it's her feet though. And she can't really well, you can get her legs back and then it starts to curve a little bit, so that works out. All right, so I'll just leave her like that and put up to a couple figures and then get up out of here. So here we have her next to, gosh, what was this one? The Mental Agent Lin Jing Fang, something like that. I actually did a review on this figure. Very, very cool figure. Pretty tall, but awesome. Awesome addition to my female manga type of figures. Here we got your boy Ash Ketchum. So she's got some decent little height to her. For shits and giggles, got her next to a Marvel Legends figure with a custom head on. And then the last two figures, last three figures I want to put her up against. Of course, I had to bring out a Snail shell figure. And I still really like these figures, but they're not so fun to handle because of the articulation and the joints, the knee joints and the elbows. I think Snail shell could definitely improve on the tension of the joints. And that goes for this figure as well, too. So I'm hoping they eventually get that situated. And then we have her next to Cammy. So she does have a little bit of height to her. She's not too short. And I do appreciate that. I can't say they look good together, but I think if you put Snail Shell Aileen in there, yeah, yeah, I think these two work together within their own line, so that's okay. Oh, because I have this figure sitting here so neutral, this is the Romanki. Uh, I forget what these figures are amazing as I expected. Their Romanki original guy body, the slimmer guy, he was awesome. He was awesome. I will put a link in the description below if you want to see that video. I did that a while ago. But yeah, he's awesome. And I didn't think I could top that. So like I was kind of a little overwhelmed to talk about it, if that makes sense. And then last but not least, we have him next to, wait, let me show. Just kidding, just kidding. And last but not least, we have, yeah, I'm tired. We have her next to the Kotobukiya Zero model kit. And final thoughts for this figure, she wasn't that expensive, honestly. Uh, could she be a little bit cheaper? Yeah, yeah, because of the shirt. Like I'm really, really not feeling how big and frumpy the shirt is. It looks cheap. I don't know. I don't know. Definitely didn't look as good as the promotional shots. She does have a circular motion though, right there at the shoulders. So I do appreciate that, but she can't get her arms that close in together. I do wish she came with. Wait, she didn't come with nothing else? Like, I don't know, a book or a rose or like that's odd. She didn't come with anything else. But yeah, she wasn't too expensive. I do think she should have been cheaper. Do I regret getting this figure? No, no. I expected exactly what Snail Shell gave me, what they've given me. So there was no real surprises with that. I think she'll still function, in my ideas of whatever shots I take, just fine. I had an image in my head. I wanted to have her just sitting on a bed, but she is something like that. Something like that. If I was to give a rating for the figure, for the look, I think she looks pretty good. Pretty good. Maybe a little heavy on the shading on the legs and stuff. Might have been a little bit nice, but I do appreciate that she does have it because you don't see that a lot. So, but yeah, for the look, really do like her face. I do like it. Looks like silver, maybe some type of silver highlights or brushing around the front of her bangs. Kind of shines a little bit. But yeah, I do like that. So they did put a little bit of effort into her. Her bum, honestly, her bum is awesome. I don't see a lot of action figure bums like of this type of design that was pulled off so well. And I think for the design of her, like they actually did a pretty good job on her bum. Nice little sculpt work. She's got some curve, little curvy and shit. You also get okay, I'll just leave that off. Looks like you get a slight adjustment right there for that ball at her hips. But other than that, yeah. So that's about it. What else? The articulation. Her articulation ain't really that good. Honestly, it's not really that good. I do like her head movement. So I think ultimately I want to give her probably maybe a 7.9. The ab crunch does kind of hurt her a lot. The the trickiness of getting her to get as much range, looking over to the other side, that kind of sucks a little bit. But I mean, mostly the rest of her is pretty good. She does lean back a decent little amount. For the quality, there are some joints that could have been tighter, but she isn't particularly loose. So I'll give her probably like a 7.9. She's not really bad when it comes to that. The accessories, yeah, she looks like she's starting to lean over a little bit. I don't know. She is kind of funky to balance, though. For the accessories, look, she got that lean, broken foot, and I typically don't pose like she's balancing, so I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. Yeah, the accessories. I mean, honestly, yeah, it would have been nice if she came with something else, maybe like a lamp or I don't know, a book, open book, something like that. That would have been pretty cool. But I mean, she comes with a decent spread of hands. I noticed she actually does not come with any fist hands, so that is annoying. The anime girls, they do a lot of punching in the anime. They punch innocent people and people they like and stuff like that. So yeah, she definitely could have came with some fist hands. And honestly, she does come with a stand, so that's pretty cool. She does come with some extra wrist picks, so that's pretty cool too. But I think I'm gonna give her probably a 7.9, 7.9 for her accessories. Well, she does come with a head sculpt too, and for that price, I might come back later and say 8. But for now, I think I'm just going to give her a 7.9. What else did I cover? The quality? Did I cover the quality already? 7.9. Yeah, I think I did cover that. All right, I'm about to get in bed, y'all. For the final score, I would give her like a 7.9. Nothing to write home about, nothing super special, but what she does pretty well. Aside from this ridiculous oversized scrub shirt that she stole when she escaped from the psych ward and painted it. because she is a psycho. Yeah, that's it. Honestly, I don't really have a schedule on when I'm going to go live, but I'm gonna try to make it when all of the big bosses, toy review world, the big guys, like Jay Hernandez, D Amazing, Wade, anybody that go live, the Fools, my man, Mr. Mega J Retro. Shout outs to him. He's been a pretty big gem in like some of this equipment that I've already gotten, a couple people, and no one wants to tell me what they're using, but yeah, these figures are awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna the next time, I think the next video, I'm gonna put it out there for the universe. The next video I'm gonna be doing, or one of them, is the Toonshi Studio Iori from Toonshi Studio. I never did the review as far as the Terry Bogard, but I think that I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it, honestly. From the promotional pictures, like I saw him right beside Terry, and he looks kind of small, and I thought Terry could have been a little bit taller as well. So yeah, I don't know. I might even mess around and just do a review for him. It depends on how I feel about it. But all right, y'all, please, if you are dropping in, thank you for stopping by. Replay crew, thank you for stopping by. I will try to put more notice going as to when I'm going to be going live. And even if you don't watch it, if you could just drop by, leave a little comment, leave a little like, I would definitely appreciate it. I'm going to try to make this a more consistent thing, as with my videos, but because of the job that I do, I am super tired and I can't squeeze it in. And I'm getting old, so I'm doing things to try to preserve it. You don't want to hear all that shit. All right, y'all, that is the video. I'd love a like. If not, I will catch you on the next one. Peace.